what's up? You're jacked in to the franchise. Oh boy, welcome. We pranked you, we spoofed you, and we April Fool's you. I'm so sorry to say. I'll be your host for Spoof Month, Daniel Ehrenberg, and let me bring in my spoofiest co-host ever, Logan Beadair.
What's up?
What's up?
Oh man, I'm so excited, D-Train.
I know. I feel like watching the Dudley Boys headbutt someone in the nuts now. They said that before they did that. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Logan, last week at the end of the show, we claimed that we'd be covering Francois Truffaut's Antoine Duinel 5 movies. All right. But that was all a joke. It was all a ruse. Right? Because it's April. We gotcha. We've been planning this for a year or something.
A long time.
Yeah.
At least 8 months.
Yeah. April is going to be spoof month. We're going to trick everybody, and then we're only going to cover spoof movies.
Well, you came up with that fairly recently, right?
Well, I came up, I had that for months, dude. I had that locked and loaded, man. Yeah. But, so I'm sorry to those who watched 400 Blows. We tricked you.
Hey, it's a good movie.
Well, I mean, that's why I picked that, because like what's the worst thing? Like, we tricked you into watching an amazing Francois Truffaut film. Like, whatever.
Yeah, it was a great choice.
Don't give me shit for that. I gave you an excuse to watch the 400 Blows. You've probably been looking for one for years. All right?
You talking to me?
No, just anyone.
Because I also did watch it.
Yeah, I know you did, to trick everybody on Letterboxd.
Gotcha.
I didn't bother. All right. But we're not doing that. Maybe we'll do it someday, because it is a franchise. But today and for the next 3 weeks, we will be covering Logan's favorite franchise of all time, the Scary Movie movies.
I've been waiting for you and Henry to do these forever.
I know.
I've been saying to myself, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? It just hasn't happened.
Yeah. Well, you're the host now, so obviously we're going to do it.
Yeah, let's go.
And I'll just tell you, at the end of the month, we'll also be covering Hot Shots, which was a spoof from the 90s that was about the Top Gun movie. And well, it wasn't a franchise back then. It was just about the movie Top Gun.
And I never saw those.
Yeah.
But we're doing, by the way, we're doing 1 today, and then we're doing 2 and 3 next week, and then 4 and 5, and then we're doing Hot Shots 1 and 2.
And that comprises Spoof Month.
That's right.
All right. So I hope you're not turning this off in frustration and anger right now. I hope you're excited to hear us talk about Scary Movie. You don't feel too spoofed. But April Fool's, motherfucker. All right. So, I mean, do you want to get right into Scary Movie?
Yeah, let's do it.
Tell me about your experience with this franchise.
The whole franchise?
Well, this is the first one, I guess.
All right. Well, as we both love Scream. If nobody knows, we are big lovers of Scream. Especially the first one, but we love the
I love all the Kevin Williamson written Scream films.
Yes. And honestly, over the years, I've grown a strong appreciation for that third one. There's a lot that I love about that third one now, honestly. Especially after we've gotten 5 and 6. There's like even more I love about the third one. Parker Posey was in it. But
so were Jay and Silent Bob.
So were Jay and Silent Bob. But I love Scream, and I found out there was a funny Scream. Actually, I don't even know how I found out about this, but I watched it over and over as a little kid. And I watched it so much that I would like confuse the lines from this and Scream. I'd be watching Scream, and like the dad would walk in the room, and he wouldn't go like, "Daddy's head is stuck, Daddy's head is stuck," and I'd be like, "What the fuck is this shit? Why am I watching Scream when I could be watching Scary?" Like there were parts of my life I probably would like Scary Movie more. And
wow,
yeah, I think this movie's hilarious. There you go.
All right, well, Logan, I saw it in theaters.
You're lucky.
All right. I was 14 years old, so pretty much perfect, right? Or I think I was turning 14 in like 2 weeks or something. And I mean, I couldn't appreciate anything more. I was such a Scream fan at the time. I had watched every single episode of the Wayans Brothers on the WB.
You agree with that in joke?
Oh my god, I was furious when the Wayans Brothers was canceled. It doesn't have an ending. They're right. And it deserved one.
Yeah.
And you couldn't even do it now. You couldn't even go back and do like a reboot, because John Witherspoon's dead. And he was essential to that show.
I'm sorry.
As Pops. Okay? Well, and then this came out. It was like, all right, the Wayans brothers, they're doing a Scream parody. Are you in? I was like, yes, I am in. And I was such a Scream nerd that I knew that the original title of Scream was Scary Movie.
Yes.
And so I thought the title of this was so respectful. I appreciated that. Even though that wasn't the original title of the film.
I loved when I learned that. I was like, what? That's so cool.
Yeah. And, so it doesn't really hold up.
What? We're already starting there?
Well,
what doesn't hold up about it?
Come on.
I'm pretty confused by that statement.
All right. Well, I suppose we'll get into it in a bit, but let's talk about the background a little bit. So this was directed by Keenan Ivory Wayans. That was probably the first Wayans you ever saw in anything. All right.
Not me. I definitely knew the other ones before him.
Yeah. Well, Damon was big. He was probably the biggest. Damon, I think, got more famous than any other Wayans. But Keenan Ivory, he wrote Hollywood Shuffle, and then that afforded him the opportunity to make a bunch of his own movies, like A Low Down Dirty Shame, which I liked at the time but doesn't hold up, and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, which kind of holds up, and what was his other one? He had a really good one. Damn it. Give me 1 second. Oh, maybe I'm just thinking of Hollywood Shuffle. All right, yeah, fuck it. So he goes on to create In Living Color. And what a hit that was, Logan. In Living Color. It employed 6, I believe, of the Wayanses. There were 10 altogether. They grew up in Manhattan. I think a couple of them went to the Fame High School. The high school that Fame is based on.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, Sean and Marlon, they were the last Wayanses. 9 and 10 of the Wayanses.
Really?
Yeah. Sean was 9 and Marlon was 10.
So you'd say Marlon is the little man.
Of the Wayanses, Marlon is the little man.
Wow, I did not know that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
He literally is the little man, by the way.
I know, in the film Little Man.
I was informing the audience.
Oh, okay.
Ever check that out, guys? That's a funny movie.
I've never seen it. Should I watch it?
Funny movie.
Yeah? I tapped out after White Chicks.
No, it's way better than White Chicks.
Okay. What was the one before White Chicks? Did they just do Scary Movie 1 and 2 and then White Chicks?
I don't know.
I don't remember. Anyway, so those guys were all on In Living Color. And then Marlon and Sean branched out and created the Wayans brothers together. And then they wrote a parody of Scream that was entitled Last Summer I Screamed Because Halloween Fell on Friday the 13th.
Yeah, this is way better.
I would argue yes. And but what they wrote that with Buddy Johnson and Phil Bowman, who were both on the writing staff of the Wayans brothers. One of them had been with them since In Living Color. I don't remember which one. But much to their concern, Logan, They sold their script to Miramax, but Miramax was like, listen, we've already got a parody of Scream in development. It's by these hot new writers named Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer. Okay? Now, Jason Friedberg, he's a Nepo baby. His father, his father was a director, and he was directing Leslie Nielsen in a parody of golf. And he was like, "Hey, Leslie, my son wrote a script that's a parody of spy movies called Spy Hard." And Leslie Nielsen was like, "All right, I'll make that into a movie." And that launched the careers of Friedberg and Seltzer. So they were trying to follow that up with a Scream parody called Scream If You Know What I Did Last Halloween.
Wow.
All right, they both had the same idea for a title.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
Same idea.
So Miramax and Bob Weinstein specifically over at Dimension preferred the Wayans brothers script, but they had already bought the Friedberg Seltzer script, and even though they didn't use anything from that script, it was similar enough that because they had both in development, Friedberg and Seltzer ended up with a writing credit on Scary Movie.
Wow, lucky them.
They
They're
didn't
not back
do
on the
shit.
second one.
What, they're not back on. No, they don't work on any of the other ones. But it launched their career. Their next movie they did was Date Movie, and that was a parody of rom-coms.
Yeah.
And in that movie, I remember they promoted it as from two of the writers of Scary Movie. Or from two of the 6 writers of Scary Movie. It was like
really?
a joke. Yeah. That was the big joke in the trailer. And so they didn't even really work on Scary Movie, but they got to use that for the rest of their careers. All right.
Okay. Yeah, good for them. Well, they did write the best one, so
They didn't write it. Marlon and Sean wrote it.
well, if they were only part of this one and this is the best one, they probably had some good ideas.
None of their ideas were used in the film.
Oh, you're saying they really just scrapped everything?
They literally, Marlon and Sean Wayans and Keenan Ivory have said they haven't even read that script. It was just the Writers Guild had to give them credit.
Well, yeah, if I read a script that was genius, I would say I came up with it too. I wouldn't give that other person any of the credit. I would say
genius.
They had nothing to do with it.
Well, that's what they say. That's what they claim. Okay.
Well, I understand.
All right, let's talk about the great cast of the film. You've got Anna Faris in her first role ever.
Is that true?
It's the first thing I ever saw her in.
Okay, yeah.
She plays Cindy Campbell, which is Sidney
You
Prescott.
don't know that's true. You're just talking.
Oh, right? Campbell. The last name Campbell, I guess, is Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
That just occurred to me.
This is the first time I ever noticed, by the way. The Billy character, the Billy Loomis character, Bobby. His last name is Prinz, like Freddie Prinz.
And his first name is Ray. It's right?
No. That's Bobby.
Oh, right. There's a different character, Ray.
Ray is Sean. Is it Sean Wayans?
Yeah, but that was Freddie Prinz's name, and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got a Buffy, obviously.
Yeah, Buffy Gilmore, by the way, which I didn't realize.
But I did look it up. Gilmore Girls came out after this movie. So
no, really?
I looked it up.
That's
this movie
outrageous.
was like July. Gilmore Girls was like October or something, November.
I think they were ahead of their time on that one, man.
Yeah.
It's funny now.
What do you think about Gale Hailstorm?
That's a terrible name.
I love it.
Wait, but let me go back to Anna Faris, because this is interesting. I read that she had a day job at the time, and she was about to quit Hollywood because her day job had offered her a transfer to their London offices, and she was like, fuck acting, it's not working out. Let me go work in their London offices. The last film that she auditioned for before that, Scary Movie, Logan. How about that?
So this is really her first role?
I mean, it's her first role. I mean, you want me to look it up to be
sure?
I
mean, you said it was her first role, and if you're lying,
I think it's her first starring role for sure.
Okay, well, I thought you should know these things before you say them like that.
Why don't you eat shit?
It's definitely not her first role, but
It is.
she was in a movie Eden.
You're looking at it right now?
Yeah, Lover's Lane, 1999.
But no one's ever heard of any of these movies.
All right, but she's still in them.
So she was like trying to get a career going as an actor, but it wasn't really working out. She wasn't getting roles that she enjoyed and that broke her. But then Scary Movie happened, and she's very lucky because the part was offered to Alicia Silverstone,
Okay, I can see that.
and she turned it down.
What do you think about
Yeah, it would have been fine.
that? Mm-hmm.
And they got
Not as good. Not as good.
Not as good. I was a big Anna Faris fan at this time. I had a huge crush on her in the Scary Movie movies, and then when she dyed her hair blonde, I was sort of like, "Fuck this." But she's been blonde for so long now that I've learned to love it. Okay. I was so into her, Logan, that on LimeWire, which used to be a downloading service,
I'm
familiar with LimeWire?
Yeah, I know it.
I had downloaded as a teenager a GIF of her sucking on that hot dog in this movie.
Really? You thought that was sexy? It's pretty comedic.
At the time, though, it gave me a nice boner.
Really?
Yeah.
Not the sex scene?
Not as much.
When she's like, whose is it, Bobby? Whose is it, Bobby? You don't imagine her being like, whose is it, Daniel?
No.
Whose is it, Daniel?
That scene's so gross, man. I don't like how you can see his ribs when he comes.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah. All right, anyway. You've got Regina Hall in there, who we complimented a lot earlier in the year. One of our favorite parts of the Best Man franchise.
Sure.
As Candy.
Yes, I prefer her role as Brenda in the Scary Movie movies.
Well, this part was offered to Aaliyah. All right?
Yeah.
And then she lost her head about something or other, and they gave it to Regina Hall instead. That was a decapitation joke. All right.
She was decapitated?
Yes.
Oh my God. You learned something new.
Horrible. I loved Aaliyah. She was great, but she was decapitated in a plane accident on the set of her music video, Rock the Boat.
How many other music video deaths have there been?
Boy, oh boy. That's a good question. This might be the only one.
Wow.
I mean, other than like groupies probably on the set of like metal and rap videos.
All right, let's move on.
All right. So we'll get into it. All right. So let's talk about the awards it won, Logan.
Yep.
It came out July 7th, 2000. And when I Googled it, I Googled Scary Movie 2000, and then I thought that should be the title of the movie.
No.
No?
No, Scary Movie's so good.
Okay. It cost $19 million to make, and it made $278 million at the box office. What a hit it was. The tagline was like, no shame, no something, no sequels.
What?
And yeah, that was the tagline of the movie. But then it was such a big hit that they made sequels.
Yeah, that's what they all do.
Yeah. In fact, the tagline to the second movie, Logan, was just, we lied.
All right. At least they're honest.
Because they had claimed there were not going to be any sequels. All right. So this was the number 9 movie at the box office in the year 2000. Number 8 was X-Men. And number 10 was What Lies Beneath.
Wow. What Lies Beneath in the top 10?
It was a hit, man. I saw it in theaters. We all did. It was twisty. You ever see that?
Yeah, I saw it a long time ago.
All right.
Who's the woman?
Michelle Pfeiffer, man, looking great in pants throughout. So this was nominated for a total of 2 different awards shows. Let's talk about them both. First of all, the MTV Movie Awards. Let's hear that theme.
I want my MTV.
Oh my God.
You like that one?
I don't know. For some reason, even though it's a recording, it seems to get better and better to me. All right. I'll tell you one MTV award. Who do you think won an MTV award for this movie?
Ghostface. For his physical comedy.
They should have gotten Ghostface Killah from the Wu-Tang Clan to play Ghostface. Wouldn't that have been funny?
No, not really.
No?
No, I'm going to guess.
I guess I'll leave it to the pros, the Wayans brothers.
I'm going to guess Regina Hall won.
No, the winner of the MTV Movie Award for Best Cameo of the Year was James Van Der Beek.
Wow. Really? Best
Yes.
of the entire year?
He has a golden popcorn sitting somewhere in his house for this movie, for the one day he was on it.
Did you like that?
I loved it. Are you kidding me? It's probably the highlight of the movie to me.
As soon as the music kicked in, I was like, oh, the Dawson's Creek. And then he popped in. I was like, oh, very clever.
Hell
And
yeah.
this is the start of many great jokes in this movie.
That's right. And Dawson's Creek, of course, premiered January 20th, 1998, as we found out recently on Buffy's Angels.
the greatest night of your entire life.
Yeah, patreon.com/the franchise. Boy, oh boy. I love Dawson's Creek. He was also, can I tell you some more stuff? We talked about Dawson's Creek a little bit on that Buffy show this week and how it premiered the same night as the second part of the two-parter of Buffy with Angelus. But let me tell you some more stuff about Dawson's Creek. I was 12 years old when it premiered. It had the main character was a movie nerd named Dawson. Okay, he had Steven Spielberg posters all over his bedroom, including in his closet. And I was
You don't even love Steven Spielberg,
but
though.
at the time, he was my guy.
Yeah.
I loved Steven Spielberg. All right, Dawson. He had the name Dawson, which was a D name, like my name, Daniel.
That was enough.
But listen to this. At the time, I also had a crush on a girl named Jenna Hernandez. And the girl in this show was Jen.
Okay.
All right. And Jenna Hernandez and Jen were both students from out of town, new students at the school. All right. I'm telling you, Dawson's Creek, it was made for me. I watched it. I was like, Kevin sees me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually.
All right. So he wins Best Cameo. Then this was nominated for Best Kiss. What you know what kiss I'm referring to?
It's got to be Bobby and when their tongues get tied together.
Yeah, that's right. Their tongues get CGI knotted together. And that lost, unfortunately, to a kiss from the movie Save the Last Dance.
Never saw it.
Oh, it's terrible. It's one of Save the Last Dance. You know, people have nostalgia for that movie, but it's honestly one of the worst movies ever made.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a wild statement.
Check it out. Watch it now, and if you've never seen it before, you will be actively offended by it.
Really?
Yes.
I've had a crush on what's her face my entire life. I don't think
Julia Stiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, she's Ryan Stiles' daughter. She's a Nepo baby.
No, I didn't know that.
No, that was a joke. I didn't. She's not actually.
Oh.
All right. Anna Faris. She was nominated for Best Breakthrough Female Performance. But unfortunately lost to Erika Christensen for her role in Steven Soderbergh's Traffic. Of course, she would go on to top Traffic a mere 2 years later with her classic role in one of my all-time favorite films, Swim Fan.
Oh, I was I was trying to figure out who that is.
She's
I think
Swim
Anna Faris
Fan,
ended
baby.
up on top. I think they got that wrong.
I think you're probably right. And Erika Christensen was even, like, at the time, it seemed like she was a poor man's Julia Stiles. But she was Swim Fan, and she was on the show Parenthood, and so I'll love her forever.
She's great in Swim Fan. I'd like to see Anna Faris try and pull off something that serious. I don't think she could. I don't think she could do a Swim Fan.
What are you talking about? She on Mom.
She's a Swim Fan on Mom?
But she's like, what's it called? You know, she's like an alcoholic.
But she's not like a stalker, like a scary stalker.
You want to see her specifically in a Swim Fan situation?
Yeah. So I feel like they might have gotten that right.
Yeah.
Maybe her role was more impressed. I don't know. This is a pretty impressive role. She's very funny. Erika Christensen ever been funny?
Probably not.
Never in her life have never been funny.
No, I don't think she's ever been funny for a single moment.
She married to Hayden?
That's her dad.
Okay.
No, I don't think they're related. I mean, maybe they are. Who knows? You never
How'd
know
she
in
spell
this
it?
crazy Nepo world. It's spelled the same way.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So they were also nominated for some Blockbuster Entertainment Awards, which were a thing at the time, Logan.
Okay, yeah.
Did you ever vote for that?
No.
They
Remember when you guys used to have the Blockbuster book? You used to read from like the best list of every year?
Yeah, I think
I think
left
it
in
ended
New
up
York.
like 1990 or something, but
89, I think.
yeah. But
Yeah.
that was fun.
It was fun. That was a great time, the Blockbuster list. We have but the Blockbuster Awards, they put a little stand in every Blockbuster every year, right? And you'd go and you'd vote, and it would take like fucking 15 minutes or something because there were so many categories. And but I did it every year. I was
Wow,
a
I love
loyal
that.
Blockbuster man. I always voted. This year it was nominated for 3 awards. Well, actually, 3 people were nominated for 2 awards because Sherry O'Terry,
Oh, she's great.
she won the award for
Hell
Best
yeah.
Supporting Actress in a Comedy. And Sean and Marlon Wayans were both nominated for Best Actor in a Comedy. And they lost, unfortunately, to Jim Carrey for How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
What? Come on.
What, that infuriates you?
Yeah, Ray is hilarious in this movie.
Really? You would go with Sean as the winner of the
I would
two of
go.
them?
Yes, I love Sean.
So you find the idea of being gay extremely funny.
But he's not gay. That's the twist at the end. Is that
Come on.
Bobby is gay and Ray isn't gay?
You
That's
suck my
hilarious.
dick.
That's very funny.
All right. Logan's going to find this baby funny. Let's get into it, Logan. It starts with Carmen Electra farting.
Yep, I can't defend that one.
Right off the bat. First thing you hear, fart. Carmen Electra. And Carmen Electra was lucky to get this role. It was offered to both Jenny McCarthy and Britney Spears, who turned it down. Jenny McCarthy will later show up in some of these movies.
Jenny
pretty sure.
McCarthy would later show up in these. Maybe.
I think
don't
she's
know.
in the white people scary movies.
What?
Because, like, these are the Wayans brothers scary movies. And then the Wayans brothers tapped out of the franchise after 2. And then they started making them with more white people.
I don't remember her, but you could be right.
I think I'm right. You
She's
can
in
see
Scream 3.
her-
Is that what you're thinking about?
Yeah. Well, her favorite role is that every year at New Year's at midnight, we get to see her make out hard with Donnie Wahlberg, her husband.
All right.
I'm serious, man. I look forward to it every year.
I know. We talked about that.
Oh, we
did
have?
Saw.
Oh, you're right. We fucking did.
Come on.
All right. So, but Carmen got the role. Carmen Electra. And, she was the hot shit at the time, I guess. She was on MTV a lot. I don't really remember why. But
Jenny McCarthy's boobs fake? Could they do the same joke?
they would have, like, pushed them up.
But you have to like really be able to tell because she's like down to a bra at the very end.
I don't think it's that difficult to make boobs look fake.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I guess
I can tell.
they lucked out. It's Carmen. She has real fake boobs. And she plays the Drew Barrymore character in the film. And so
Her name's Drew.
Drew Decker, right? Because it's Casey Becker in Scream.
That's right.
one
And her brother, they say, by the way, she has a brother, and her brother's name was Steve. Like
Which
Steven,
is
which
her
is her boyfriend's name
in
in Scream.
Scream. Very
Yeah.
good. Stephen Orth or Steve Forrest. We never really found out.
Stephen Orth. I never understood what you were talking about.
I'm telling you.
I never got that.
Okay. The thing I like the most about this movie is that a lot of times they just use the exact same lines from Scream.
Yeah, it's like you're just watching Scream, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, but it's just Scream, but with jokes.
Yeah, I fucking love it so much. It's literally my favorite movie, but made better.
I fucking hate you. So, what'd you think about this opening?
I love it. To be honest, it is like it is just basically the Scream opening. Like all the camera shots are the same, the running is the same, the music is basically the same. Like it's basically just watching that, but with great classic jokes. She's picking up the
Come on.
banana. She's
No,
running
that's
to
a good
death.
joke. That's a good joke. But you know what? It's like kind of the same thing Scream did. Isn't Scream already kind of a parody of scary movies?
Yes,
There's like the
yes,
line in Scream, like you should be running out the front door, but they're always running up the stairs,
yeah.
and then you see her run up the stairs, and that's funny. Uh, and in this, it's sort of just like a more extreme version of that, where she sees a grenade and a banana, and she grabs the banana.
Yeah, you're upset by that. If you're gonna be upset by just the inherent, like they're making fun of Scream and Scream makes fun of something else, then you're just
I
never gonna
just
like
think
this
it's
movie.
so weird. Like the reason the airplane movies are good is, I mean, for many reasons, but like one of the reasons is that they're parodizing the airport films, which take themselves super seriously. I think that's what you got to do.
It doesn't just parody Scream though.
It's I know what you did last summer, I guess.
Yeah, it has a little Blair Witch. There's that one
Oh,
scene
that
where
was
they
one
do the.
scene. It's
Okay,
really primarily Scream, and
it's
I know what you
basically
did last
Scream
summer,
with shades of Scream 2, a couple Scream 2 scenes.
and one Scream 3 scene, which I forgot
What's
about.
that?
At the end, when he's talking into the camera about the rules, I think that's ripping on Randy in Scream 3.
Um, what?
Do you recall that Randy is in Scream 3?
Yeah, when he like left the tape.
Yeah. Do you recall that the exact same thing happens during the closing credits of Scary Movie with Marlon Wayans?
Oh, I didn't watch the closing credits.
Oh my God. Stop turning movies off right away. At least watch until the cast credits.
Yeah,
I was waiting for the
I have a
cast
problem with
credits
that.
because I was like, "Oh my God, are they going to do a parody of the picture credits from Scream?" I was so
Oh,
excited, but they didn't.
yeah, that I should have actually stayed. I didn't even think about that.
I thought
That's
they
very
left
funny.
that on the table.
I
Much
now that you're
much like
saying this,
that grenade.
I do actually remember this though. Is it you're talking about? Is it Shorty that leaves the videotape?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Thank you.
Because
Uh,
he gets shot. But by the way, if Shorty is Randy and if Shorty's sister is Brenda Heather Matarazzo?
I don't
Right?
know. I
Did that
don't
make
know
sense?
that they were really thinking about it.
Okay.
Um, my favorite part of this opening is the Jiffy Pop thing, how big it gets.
Yeah, it's very funny. It gets comically huge at one point.
That made me laugh as a 14-year-old and still made me laugh today.
What about the part where she falls down and she gets up and she's in like a chalk outline? That's very funny also.
It's all right. It's all right.
Every time they can like put a joke in, they put a joke. I appreciate it. They probably took a lot of time for that
Hey,
little like three
they could have
second
put a joke
thing.
in the picture credits, but they didn't. They left that one on the table. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, you're smarter than them.
I guess so. Ugh. All right. They rip on Kazam.
You know what I thought they could
What's
have
your
ripped on?
favorite scary movie? Kazam. That's not a scary movie. Well, you haven't seen Shaq act. Oh my God, throwing bombs at Shaq.
Yeah, I've never seen that either. You think I should check that out?
Absolutely, he's a genie who comes out of a boombox.
I know what it is. A couple scenes I thought they could have ripped on. Do you remember the one where the girls are in the bathroom and they're like, Billy, her bubble butt boyfriend. They could have had like some girls in there like really acting it up.
Well,
Thought
they
that could have been a
kind of
little
did.
funny.
I thought that
Really?
scene where Regina Hall is like pretending she's on the phone with Ghostface was like ripping on that a little bit.
When Regina Hall is on the phone with Ghostface.
Yeah, when she's like, "Oh my God, you're gonna kill me, what, Cindy? It's for you." I'm
Anyway,
referencing things from your favorite movie of all time that you watched yesterday.
I just don't know how that's the same thing as what I'm talking about. And also, I thought they could have done the scene where they are. It's a scene that never made sense to me in Scream when they're at the grocery store and they see Ghostface just walking around in the grocery store. I thought they could have played around with that a little bit. have him like get caught in the
Yeah,
grocery store.
that's funny. See, they left jokes on the table. But you know what? It's also an hour and 28 minutes, which you appreciate, don't you?
Yeah, fucking love it.
Yeah.
But Scream is 2 hours. You could have made it a little longer.
But don't.
Don't.
Just don't.
All right.
So, all right, she gets stabbed in the boob, and the implant comes out. Very funny. Then she runs through some sprinklers. Or I guess that was first.
Yeah.
And then the dad is getting a blowjob in the car from the mom, and they hit her with the car.
That's great too.
You like all that?
Yeah, because when you're watching
Are
Scream,
you gonna have
you're like,
any criticisms of this film?
yeah, when you're watching Scream, you're like, how do they not see her when they're walking inside? How do they not see her? And
Because of the layout of the house. Oh no!
But at one point she comes around the corner and she's like, Mom. But here he's getting a blowjob. He doesn't see her.
It's dark out, man. I don't question that in Scream, but I guess it's good enough for a blowjob joke. God, I thought the sound effect was really like.
Really, I didn't even notice that.
Did you notice like when she pulls up from his dick, and then he pushes her back down on the dick, and there's like a gagging sound effect that I thought was like so porny. It was like weird.
No, I did not. But can I tell you, before the mom made her reveal, for a split second in my brain, I thought that it was gonna be Joyce Summers. I thought that I was the same actor. Like in my brain for a split second, I was like, "Whoa, is this gonna be Joyce Summers?" Like I thought it was the same actor for a split second, but it was not. It did not turn out to be that. But I thought it was gonna be that person for some reason.
They should have used either her or Dawson's mom, Mary Margaret Hume.
Yeah, I don't know her.
All right, back to you, Bob. Logan.
What? I know that.
Yeah. What's next? Walk us. This is your favorite movie. Walk us through it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's. I think you should walk us through. You're in the minority. You don't like this movie that much. Everyone else just sort of understands this is a great movie.
I don't think that's true.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, what's this movie rating on Letterboxd?
Of spoofs, I feel like this is very highly regarded.
It's got
a 3.
It is not highly regarded.
Very, very good. All right. Anyway, so then after that they go. It's basically Scream. They cut right from him stabbing her to Cindy at her computer typing.
It's highly regarded to you because the kind of spoof movies that were coming out during your childhood were the Friedberg Seltzer joints, like Meet the Spartans and Disaster Movie and Vampires Suck, which were like the worst movies ever made in history. And so Scary Movie seems like some sort of masterpiece to you, which compared to those movies, it kind of is.
Can I tell you what I thought, by the way?
Which I don't think is ever going to happen. And the Naked Gun, sir.
All right. What I thought about, they've made Scary Movie 5. It can't happen because they're just going to go ahead and make Scream 7. But it would be perfect to just do Scream 6, but hilarious, and make Scary Movie 6, Scream 6. But it wouldn't work because Scream 7 is going to be out by the time Scary Movie 6 comes out. So who would care by that point?
Also, Scream 6 is so unmemorable and lame that like by the time Scary Movie 6 came out, no one would remember anything about it.
That's why you don't like this, because this is, in your mind, not improving upon something. But if you do that, you could actually improve upon something.
I suppose.
Have lots of bodega jokes. They have scenes where they're like on a green screen and someone's like, well, why isn't this New York? Why haven't you guys shot in New York? Some great jokes like that.
Man, Logan, you need to get started on this script.
I thought about it, to be honest, but then I was like, no, Scream 7 will be out with like 8 months.
What did I say you should actually write? Oh, the reboot of So that was before we started recording.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll think about it.
All right, so I did like the thing with Cindy's dad poking his head through the door because I love that weird door conceit in Scream.
Yeah,
Door City.
Door City, just like K-Dub's room, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Anyway,
you like the dad?
He's all right. He's the dude from The Burbs.
Yeah, I saw that, but I didn't really remember him from The Burbs.
Well, The Burbs, it's weird because like everyone from The Burbs is like famous. It's like Corey Feldman and Tom Hanks and shit. And then this one dude who was just like a stand-up comic at the time that they thought was going to be somebody, and it's this guy.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, so it was
I think
kind of
he's
fun to see
hilarious.
him. You think he's hilarious?
I love it when he's like doing the drug stuff and he's like, remember it's baking powder, not baking soda. And then she laughs at it and he's like, you love that joke since you were 2 years old. That's so funny to me. And I can't, when I'm watching Scream, I think about this scene every single time. I'm like, why is Dad not so funny right now?
Oh my god. All right, so what's his face? John Abrahams. He's the one. He shows up in the window. He's our Skeet Ulrich of this scene.
Bobby.
Yeah. What's this guy been in?
Scary Movie.
That's it.
That's what I know him from. I don't know.
Let me just look him up real quick. Yeah, I guess you're. Oh, you know what I know him from? He's
What?
in fucking Kids.
No, is he a kid in Kids?
Yeah, he's one of the kids in Kids.
That's awesome. I never noticed that.
Yeah, dude.
Gotta go rewatch Kids.
Hell, oh, who doesn't want to rewatch Kids? What an incredible rape scene.
Oh man, we won't spoil it, but great payoff.
You're not wrong, man.
Amazing
No rape
payoff.
scene in history has had a better payoff than
You might
Kids
be
does.
right. You might be right.
All right, so he comes in. He's like, close call. It's like it's exactly Scream, and they start making out. She has an
It's actually
electrified
not even
fence.
he does make a better joke. He has the thing he has a banana and he like jerks off the banana. It's very funny.
That's funny. I don't even remember. What did you think about the electrified fence around her
The chastity
vagina?
belt
Her
thing.
chastity fence.
Yeah, that's great too.
That's great.
I'll let you know when I have complaints.
Okay, please do. I can't wait for one. But of course, I love this scene because then they start making out. What's
She also
next?
remember in Scream when she's like, what would you settle for a PG-13? And she shows him her boobs. She also does that, but she's like a fat man boobs and
Right.
it falls off the window.
And you like that?
It's pretty good. The best joke so far is
I
probably
think
the silicone.
I think the funniest thing about this episode is how much you think everything's funny.
I think people are just gonna be like, yeah, he makes a lot of good points. I don't think people think it's that funny.
You think people are gonna be more on your side than mine?
I don't know. Yeah, I do. I think we have a smart listenership. I think that they understand.
They appreciate real humor.
Yeah.
All right. So all right, then it's the next day. They're in school, right?
Yep.
And everybody's being questioned about the situation. We meet Gail Hailstorm, played by Sherry O'Terry from the cheerleader sketches on Saturday Night Live. And the next thing I wrote down was when they asked Marlon Wayans if he was close to the deceased, and he says, "Real close until the roofies wore off."
Yeah, that wasn't great. My first not great joke, probably. So there you go. But a few, one good one before that.
Wait, so it's not great, but it's still good in your opinion?
No, that one's pretty bad.
Okay,
but there is one where there's a hobo that shows up. Do you call them hobos anymore? Can I say that?
I think you can.
All right, there's a homeless guy. What does hobo stand for? Does it stand for something?
Homeless bohemian, probably.
That's pretty good. Did you just now make that up?
Yep.
That's pretty smart of you. But he shows up and he's like, "Can I have $1?" And then Cindy is like, "He's asking for food," and she gives him a sandwich, and he's like, "I said $1, you bitch!" And he throws the sandwich at her.
All right, you like
hilarious.
that?
Yeah.
What? All right. What else? Give me some other classic jokes from this part of the movie. He lives in a tent next to the school.
I don't love that one, but I do like the part where he's like, "See a big Jim, little Jim, Slim Jim," and when he's leaving, he says goodbye to all the gyms, all the people that live in there.
That's funny.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
But, I like the part when they're doing the news reporting and all the black people are like, "Black TV, black folks are getting out of town," and they all leave. That's good.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's written by black people. Come on.
Well, so yeah. Okay.
I think it's okay.
All
I
right,
think
then
it was-
it's fine. I'm not like offended by it. I'm not offended by anything. I just think it's stupid.
Okay.
I much prefer the joke later about black people talking during movies.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's one of the best parts of the movie.
I agree.
She is
Um,
out of her mind good in this movie.
who, Regina Hall?
Unreal.
Yeah, she is great in this.
One of the greatest comedic performances I've ever
Come
seen.
on.
I'm not kidding.
All right, so then we set up some I Know What You Did Last Summer stuff, right? Because they're getting notes about it. And
Is one of them a Halloween thing? How like
when he runs behind that tree.
yeah,
That's a Halloween gag.
okay. I'm not that familiar with I Know What You Did Last Summer, so that was one I had a question about. I thought that was Halloween.
But then we do a full-on flashback to like a year earlier, and it's like the same night as I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Love
where they're like
that part.
drunkenly riding around in a car. Did you like the part where Sean Wayans stuck his finger up his friend's butt?
Well, I think he was just grabbing his ass, and then he takes it off, and you hear like a loud suction noise. That's
That means
funny.
it was inside. That's why you hear the fucking suction noise.
Oh, wow! I'd never ever.
It's like a pop of his finger leaving the butthole.
Yeah, finger popping each other's assholes, right? That great 21 Jump Street joke.
I don't remember that.
Oh, we'll watch 21 Jump Street one day.
All right.
I never thought about that, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I do like that. That's funny.
All right, so Sean Wayans' character in this movie, he's a closeted gay.
No, he's not.
I know at the end of the movie
Oh,
he says
okay.
he's not gay, but
Okay,
that's
okay.
just a joke. In
Okay.
the entire movie, the only character trait this character has is that he's a closeted gay.
I wrote down all the great gay jokes he has if you want it later.
Well, this is my favorite one, I think, in the whole movie.
All right, what do you got?
When he's like, put this on, it's a fucking banger. And he gives him a CD and it's Raining Men.
Yeah, that's very funny.
That made me laugh. And actually, this had probably the hardest I laughed in the movie because I didn't remember this line when they they hit somebody with the car and then they go off and they hold up a boot, which is what happens in I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, it's like, oh my God, we hit a guy. Where's the rest of him? And but they hold up the boot and one of them goes, oh my God, we hit a boot.
You're not going to finish it?
That's the joke.
No, it's not. The joke is she says, Buffy, the Buffy character says, oh my God, we hit a boot. And then Greg says, where's the foot?
Well,
That's the fucking joke.
I think we hit a boot is even funnier.
No, they're both very funny. It's the 1-2 punch. Where's the foot is hilarious.
Oh my God, we hit a boot! Where's the foot?
Okay. So then we're back in the present day and we meet Special Officer Doofy.
We did learn something,
Now
by the way, on that night out. Did you not notice this? Buffy says, like, she's talking to Cindy. She's like, just forget about it. Like that night we had where we got drunk and went down on each other. So
Yeah.
that's a little fact that we can file away that we know about.
I'm sure you filed
Buffy
it
dies,
away.
but Cindy... What'd you say?
How many what do you think? Did you jerk off thinking about that more than me looking at that gif of Anna Faris with the hot dog? Who do you think won that disgusting contest?
Definitely you, because I never have ever one time.
All right. Fuck. All right. So Doofy, this is played by the guy.
Does a great job.
What? Who did a great job?
The guy who played Doofy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's Dave Sheridan. And he was like an MTV guy in the 90s. Like he was sort of like the Jesse Camp of his time. But like what I primarily know him from is he's the dude in Ghost World with the mullet who's always in the convenience store and has nunchucks.
Wow. The one that she likes, right?
No, that's Brad Renfro. Jesus
What?
Christ. That's
Doesn't
Brad Renfro. But every time they're in the convenience store,
I
there's
thought
just
she
like
realized she liked him. Or she says she liked him at one point, right?
you're thinking of two different characters. That's Brad Renfro, the one she likes, who works at the convenience store.
Oh.
But then every time they're in there, there's a customer who's
Oh,
like a
yeah.
white trash guy with no
Oh,
shirt
shit.
and a mullet, and it's this guy.
Damn, I should have looked up that cast when I watched Ghost World. I would have been like, oh shit, it's fucking Doofy.
Yeah, might push you from a 4 to a 5.
Yeah,
Um,
I should give that movie a 5. Honestly, that's a great movie.
yeah. All right. So he's Doofy, and it's
What do you think about him?
Special Officer Doofy. They use the word special because he is the R word.
What do you think about him?
I thought he was good. To be
Me-
honest, I
Me
think he's
too.
pretty
And
funny.
I like this take on Doofy take on Dewey because Dewey is pretty stupid. Like he's a lame police officer in Scream.
It's actually it's wild because he's playing him as like full R word, mentally challenged, but it's probably the closest to the performance from the original of anybody in the movie. Like
I
lot
thought
of
the same
a
thing.
lot of the line readings are like almost identical.
Yes,
it's just like
I thought I was doing it-
slightly turned up.
At one point, I was like, "Who am I going to give the MVP to?" Because he is doing such a good job. Like he is definitely the. I know the other people aren't doing like impressions as much as him, I guess. And at one point, I thought Sherry O'Terry might get the MVP. I thought she was incredible too. But he made a run at a certain point. I was
Scene
blown
in like
away.
the police station where he's like, "You can't talk to the witnesses." Like he's just like doing exact dialogue from Scream. And then when she answers the door and he's holding the mask, like he does that identically to David Arquette.
I thought especially when Buffy comes into the police station and she does that whole thing where she's like, "All right, dude, it's time to go home," and he does like,
Yeah.
"You have to call me. It's a sign over the law or whatever." He says.
right.
I thought it was a great.
Great. All right.
What's
Buffy's
his name
played
again?
the actor, Dave Sheridan.
Yeah, Dave Sheridan.
So they tried to give him his own movie a couple years after this. It's
The
called
Doofy
like
movie?
no, like they tried to make a movie where like Dave Sheridan was the star of it, and it tanked really bad. It was
Oh.
called like Frank McCluskey PI, and he played Frank McCluskey in it.
They should have made a Doofy movie.
A Doofy movie. I would have seen it. Sure. But Buffy, by the way, you keep referencing her. She's played by Shannon Elizabeth, which I don't think we've said
Right,
yet.
she's the Tatum character.
Yeah, and Shannon Elizabeth, she was the hot shit at the time because American Pie had just happened, like the summer before this.
She's great too in this.
I don't think so.
Really? I
Yeah.
like that part when she's dying and she's
I
like,
don't.
"Oh my god!" No, I think she's really good. Honestly,
You think everything's really good?
I know.
You're gonna give this a 5, aren't you?
I guess we'll see when we get to the end.
I guess we will. All right, so Doofy takes Cindy to go talk to the principal, which is what happens in the original Scream. And I don't know if you got this joke, Logan.
What's the joke?
It's the principal. Now, in Scream, do you remember who plays the principal?
Yeah, of course. It's what's his name? Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler. And of course, he's most famous for playing a greaser named
Fonz.
the Fonz in Happy Days.
I think he's most famous for Mr. Hembry, Principal Hembry.
Shut the fuck up. He's not even credited in Scream.
Is that true?
Yes.
He's like one of the 5 people that dies in Scream.
It's uncredited.
That's amazing.
Um,
I guess he's most famous now for what's his name? Cousineau?
Arrested Development, yeah.
No, Barry.
Oh,
Who's just,
Barry,
like,
you're
winning a
right.
bunch of Emmys on
It's
Barry
true.
for
Probably
playing
Barry's the biggest thing he's done
Cousineau.
since Happy Days. But anyway, the joke here is that in Scream, the principal was played by a famous greaser from a 1970s sitcom. And so for this movie, they got the principal. It's the guy who played Squiggy, who was a greaser on the 70s sitcom Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, that went over my head.
Yeah, and he's Principal Squiggy. And in the office, there's a poster of the beer from Laverne and Shirley from the brewery they worked at.
Wow, what a pull there.
Come on, that's more impressive to me than the fucking fart jokes in this movie.
Yeah, I guess
You're like
impressive.
stonewalling me on this, and you're like, "Oh, the fucking implant came out."
That's legit hilarious.
This-
They watched Scream and they thought, what joke can we put? Oh, remember when he stabbed Drew Barrymore in the chest? What if she had fake boobs and
But
then he
that's
pulled out an
an
implant?
easy joke. This is like you could tell, like the Wayanses are thinking.
Yeah, I just didn't know that. That's a good job to them. It went over my head.
All right, all right. All right. What else?
Hey,
you
how do we
got?
have a joke you sort of skipped over? A doofy joke
Please,
that I remember?
please.
Whenever they first introduced him, they're like, how old are you? And he says, I'm 25 and a half. That's this many.
Yeah.
And he does like that. He does 25 and a half, which I think is pretty funny. And it's the first sign because that like you have to be kind of smart to do 25 and a half like that kind of quickly. Like that takes a little bit of like coordination, right? And like mental.
Oh, so you think that's setting up the ending where he's?
I never thought about it, but I did this time.
Wow. Listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
She also says that he looks 12 in that scene, which is something that Courtney Cox actually fucking weirdly does say in the original Scream, and I never thought it was weird until I watched this last night.
Yeah, it is a little weird.
All right, what happens next, Logan? Is it time for the pageant?
No. Oh, the one they go to class and the teacher, she has a baby, and she's like, all right, I'm holding my baby and teaching. And then she's like, all right, now go to your dad. And she gives the dad off to one of the students. That's pretty funny, too.
And then she says to another student, like, I'll see you after class. It's like, this teacher's fucking everybody.
That wasn't.
There are
that
actually
funny,
a lot of jokes about teachers fucking people in this movie.
Really? That was the only one that I caught, I think.
No, there was like another one with a dude later on. I don't remember what the joke was. And then there was another one where you see like the gym teacher, who's of course a man. It's Miss Man.
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's all right.
I really think that shit. Not to like get on a high horse and be woke or whatever, but like I really do think shit like that was harmful. Like it's why conservatives now were like drag shows are evil.
Yeah.
Because every trans character in a movie back then was perceived as like a predatory character who was like only trans because they wanted to fuck people.
Yeah. I don't love that part. I think Miss Man's kind of funny.
What's the funniest part when Miss Man sniffs the
No,
panties
the
of her
name I think is
student?
kind of funny. I don't love
What
that
about
part. I don't like
when
any
her
of that
ball
part.
sack comes out?
Well, I do like the part where it touches on Ferris's elbow.
I don't think I noticed that.
That's sort of commitment there. I know it's not a real ball sack, but that's pretty funny. By the way, it made me appreciate after watching like I think it's Bad Grandpa when we get a lot of the ball sack. Well, I think we get it actually in the early Jackass ones, but it made me appreciate that they had to make a ball sack for that part.
You know, I gotta say, I'm getting on my high horse about that scene, but when I was in high school, my gym teacher was Miss Agnesini, and she looked exactly like this.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, she wasn't trans, but she was a very mannish woman.
Okay.
All right. What's next?
I don't know.
The pageant?
Next. Oh, do you like the part with the tiny penis?
When he gets a picture and it's like, I know, and it's his tiny penis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love that, but I really like that actor. I think he's
Is that
funny
because you
in
have a
this.
tiny penis? That's why you don't love it? You felt attacked?
What is this?
You're like,
what
damn,
is
they're
this
making
show
tiny penis
becoming?
jokes. Should I edit that out?
No, I don't give a shit. I have a huge dick. But fucking, I like that actor, Lachlan Monroe. He's
Yeah, me too. He's a little man, by the way.
Oh wow! So the Wayans liked him too. But-
Yeah.
He's a funny actor to me. He was in Dead Man on Campus. He plays the guy they're trying to get to commit suicide. And most recently, he played Betty's serial killer father on Riverdale.
Wow. I like that he's like a handsome, like muscular guy, but he's like always like a funny dork.
Yeah,
in the
like
stuff I've seen.
he's a real goofball. And I've actually seen him in things that try to cast him as like an actual, just like handsome, like popular guy. And it doesn't really work. He's only good at shit like this.
That's good. He knows himself.
Yeah. All right. So it's the pageant.
Yeah.
It's the one from I Know What You Did Last Summer, where Sarah Michelle Gellar wins, and while she's on stage, she sees Ryan Phillippe get murdered. All right. But in this, she's doing a dramatic reading. And so when she's like freaking out on stage, everyone just thinks she's a brilliant actress.
Yes. And there's one joke here that I never ever noticed. One of the women on stage has braided hair, And then if you look down, she has pubes that are so long.
You
that they're
never
braided.
noticed that before?
Never ever in my life
It
noticed that.
is right there in the center of screen.
Never saw it before.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the thing I caught, which is that when she's acting, when everyone thinks she's a great actress, you hear somebody in the crowd go, "She's the next Pamela Lee."
Who's Pamela Lee? Oh, Pam. Oh,
That was
oh.
Pamela Anderson when she was married to Tommy Lee.
Yeah. Why would I even care about that?
Yeah. And her name is Buffy Gilmore, and she's wearing a sash that says Miss Fellatio.
That's right. They all had funny names.
Yeah. Now, that was funny to me at the time because I knew what fellatio meant, because I was hanging out with my older sister and her cool friends once, and they were talking about shit like they were being all raw, and one of them made a fellatio joke, and my sister was like, "Don't joke about that around my brother." And one of them was like, "He's not going to know what it means." And no, I didn't know what it meant, but I'll tell you what I
But you
immediately
filed it
did.
away.
No, didn't even. Just got up from my seat, walked into the kitchen, found the
Where
dictionary.
your porn. Oh, I thought you went to the computer in your kitchen.
No, we kept the dictionary on top of the fridge for some reason. And I looked up fellatio, and I still to this day remember exactly what it said in the dictionary.
Yeah.
Oral stimulation of the penis.
Really, it's only of the penis.
Yes.
What is it? Cunnilingus? Is that to the
Yeah,
woman?
cunnilingus is to a woman. Yeah.
All right.
So is that fun to know?
Yeah, that's fun to know.
Okay, great.
I don't remember when I heard it, so it's better than my story.
All right. Then my next note is about What's Up.
Yeah, classic joke.
That was a popular Budweiser commercial at the time. But I was familiar with it from the Dudley Boys because they said that when they did that move, and they even called that move the What's Up.
Okay.
All right, you're just not interested in anything I'm bringing to the table today.
Well, you took a great scene, and now every time I watch them, I think about the Dudley Boys.
What's wrong with thinking about the Dudley Boys?
I want to just watch Ghostface say "What's up."
I do like when they change the mask to have different expressions.
Yes, that's a great point. I love that too.
Yeah, it sticks his tongue out. It's good
Mhm.
stuff. But they basically do exactly that Bud commercial. I don't know. It seems weird. Anyway.
Can I tell you a line that I've said a lot?
Please.
They say at one point, they're like, "What are you doing?" to Ghostface. He's like, "Chilling, killing." I've said that so many times in my life. Chilling, killing.
What, when people ask you what's up?
Yeah, what's up? Chilling, killing.
And do people know that it's a scary movie reference, or they just think you're a cool guy?
Now everybody knows and loves Scary Movie.
I think this is a thing your age. Like,
I made that up. I usually have to explain.
Absolutely. If I said chillin', killing to a friend of
But
mine,
I most of
they
the time
just
say it
think
to my
I'm being
brother.
a douchebag.
He understands what it is.
Okay.
Chilling, killing.
All right, next is the "What are you waiting for" scene, which I love because that is my favorite moment, and I know you did last summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Moment.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, the camera, it's like it cranes up. What are you waiting for? And so, but I like that in this, it's Anna Faris, and she says it like 17 times.
Yeah.
And it makes a guy who's thinking about committing suicide jump off a building.
Yep, another good one. I to be honest, when I saw this movie a lot, I always thought that moment was from Scream, but it's not. It's from I Know What You Did Last Summer. But that's one that tricked me for a long time. The "What are you waiting for?"
Sorry, I had to yawn.
It's all right. I'm sure a lot of people did.
Really? What, you think this is a bad episode?
No, I mean, probably for people that don't like me as much as you.
Okay, fair enough. I think people like you more now.
More than you?
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
All right, Blair Witch. The next scene is the Blair Witch scene. And what do you think of when you think of the Blair Witch? It's that close-up shot where she's
No, you
snotting
skipped over a
lot.
fucking scene. One of the greatest scenes in the entire
Jesus
movie.
Christ. All right, then you go. What happens?
All right. Well, what's the name? Ray, as we know, he's we're meant to believe that he's gay. So he's hanging out with Brenda, and she's wearing his football jersey, and he's like, "Ooh, you look so sexy in this football jersey." And he's like, "Put these on," and he gives her the pants, and then he's like, "Put these on." He gives her the shoulder pads, and then she puts on the helmet, and she's just so good in that moment. Put like her the faces she's making, putting it on, like trying all the poses. It's so I love that scene.
And
Very
then
funny.
he says, "Get over here," and he says, "Turn around," so that he could fuck her up the ass, of course, because he likes buttholes because he's gay. And then he takes it a step further. He goes, "Let's role play. You get behind me."
Yeah,
That's
and he
the
calls
end
her
of the scene.
Brandon rather than Brenda.
Right. You think that's one of the best scenes in the movie?
Well, you just skipped it over, and I think she's really good. And spoiler alert, she might get the MVP, so I feel like we should raise that scene.
Well, she's getting the MVP if for anything, the Scream 2 scene.
Well, I think that scene struck me this time. I never realized how incredible she was there.
Incredible.
Watch that scene back. Watch everything she's doing. She like that's just her acting there. They're like, "Hey, you're gonna try this stuff on," and she just
Logan,
nails it. She's so funny.
I got news for you. Covering Scary Movie for the podcast will be the last time I ever watch this movie.
That's fine.
Okay.
Not me. I'll enjoy it for the both of us. I don't care.
That's fine. All right, so the Blair Witch scene. It's the close-up shot of lots of snots coming out. I didn't like, though. Like, I thought this was funny when I was a kid, and now, like, extraneous CGI bothers me. And so I didn't notice that the snots were CGI.
It's so
back
loud
then.
too. It's like bloop 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 bloop. Like you hear blooping and blopping. It's really disgusting.
And it's a big snot bubble that, like, pops.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's fine.
I
Then-
do love her when she's like interviewing, like when she's like interviewing Heather. The girl Heather, by the way, she was introduced in that classroom scene. She's like the annoying student, and then here she's in the car. But she's like Heather, like when she's getting killed, she's like trying to interview Ghostface. I think she's very funny there. You don't like Sherry O'Terry here?
She's fine. I like Sherry O'Terry in general. Like, I liked her when she was on SNL and stuff, but I mean, I don't think it's a great take on Gail Weathers or anything. Like, when the cameraman like touches her boob, and
That's a part I don't like.
yeah, I
They
mean,
turn a great part in Scream into a sexual assault moment.
there's a lot of sexual assault in this movie.
Only a few.
Only a few. All right, the Scream 2 scene that comes next. It's the parody of the opening in the movie theater, and Regina Hall really is spectacular in this. First, they're watching trailers. You get a Keenan Ivory Wayans cameo, by the way.
Okay. Oh, he's the slave.
Yeah, and you think it's a Titanic parody, but no, it's Amistad 2.
Yes.
Yeah, and he plays the slave. And she's yapping during the movie. They're watching Shakespeare in Love. I love the part where they show a scene from Shakespeare in Love where Gwyneth Paltrow is like dressed as a man, and then they cut to her in the audience going like, "That ain't no man."
Lord, I'm having a heart attack. Damn, this is some scurry shit. Oh, I am scared. Oh.
Excuse me?
I think I paid my money like everybody else up in here. That ain't no man. You can see her real hair right there.
Mind?
I know you better get out of my face. Out of my face. Out of my face. This is all me up in here. You handle that.
Will you shut the fuck up?
This movie is good. Hey, baby. You came back just in time. She's about to get it on with Shakespeare. He found out she's a girl.
Up.
Yeah, I got you. I got you on camera. You on candid camera now. You ain't know that. Hello? Hey, girl. I'm in the movie. Shakespeare in Love. Oh, you lying.
For Christ's sake, will you just shut your trap? Shut up!
Hold on. I don't know why y'all is acting like this. My girlfriend already seen the movie. She said they don't even stay together in the end.
Oh, she is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's very good. And then, of course, we get her boyfriend. Who's her boyfriend?
Ray, Sean Wayans.
But isn't he in the movie later? Doesn't he die in this scene?
Yeah, it's weird. This is one of the points I wanted to raise. Yeah, a penis goes through one ear,
And
out the other ear.
that blew my mind when I first saw this in theaters. I don't think I'd ever seen like a close-up shot of a hard dick in a mainstream movie before.
That's a great point.
Yeah, and it is like right there. And it goes through his head, through his ears.
And it
That's
tickles
stupid.
his ear before it goes in too.
And then
You
he
see
says,
like,
"Do it
tickle
again, do it again." Yeah, like that is fucking wild.
Yeah, but then he shows up later and he has a bandage over one ear, but it goes in one ear, out the other ear. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but I guess it just
Doesn't make
movie,
complete
so
sense.
you let it happen. All right, so yeah, then back in the theater, the killer doesn't even have to kill her because she annoys all the white people with her talking so
funny.
much that they all just start stabbing her. Sort of like a Murder on the Orient Express situation.
What the fuck? You just spoiled that movie for me. I've never
What,
seen
a
that.
fucking Sidney Lumet movie from the 70s?
Why you would spoil the fucking Verdict and Network for me?
Yeah.
I haven't seen his movies. Why would you spoil it for me?
Whatever, you won't remember it by the time you see it.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't even know what you just said.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really don't.
Okay.
We get a list of other movies that apparently she spoiled. Do you want that list?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, apparently she's ruined Thelma and Louise for people, The Fugitive, Schindler's List, apparently every Jackie Chan movie. He says this is for all Jackie Chan movies.
Oh, right. Right. This is what people are stabbing when they're stabbing
Oh, I
her.
guess I
They're
didn't make
saying
that clear.
these are the movies that
Yes.
she's ruined for them. An Asian guy, of course, says all the Jackie Chan movies.
Well, why would they have somebody else say that?
Well, because white people don't see those movies. Obviously, it's only
I've never
Asian.
seen one, I don't think.
Shut the fuck up! I saw
Oh.
all of them.
You've seen every Jackie? You have a Jackie Chan ranking?
I saw every theatrically released Jackie Chan movie in the 90s.
That's pretty cool. Boogie Nights and Big Mama's House. That's the list.
Yeah, but Big Mama's House, I thought was funny. How do you ruin that? We got to cover those.
Sure.
I've weirdly seen Big Mama's House 2 more than I've seen Big Mama's House.
Okay. Who is that? Is
Yeah.
that Martin Lawrence?
It sure is.
Oh, wow. Great.
He plays Big Mama. But, all right. So I thought it was weird. They kind of did the garage scene twice.
What do you mean?
Because first you see Shannon Elizabeth like going to her car in that parking garage. And
Oh, this is a great point. I never thought about this. She does
Ye-
the whole like, oh, what are you gonna do, Ghostface? Are you gonna kill me?
right,
She does
which is
that, but
from
then
the
you s-
garage scene of Scream. And
Great
then
point.
he kills her, but then later in the movie you get like an actual parody of the garage scene but the joke is that she's fat.
Yes, that is the joke. Can I tell you something crazy about this? Have you thought about this?
That
Yeah.
Marissa Jarrett Winokur was the winner of Big Brother.
Yes, but you want to know something even crazier?
I can't believe that's not what you were about to say. Go ahead.
Shannon Elizabeth was on that same season.
Oh my god!
She was voted out like second or third.
Shannon
but-
Elizabeth and Marissa Jarrett Winokur in this movie performed parodies of the exact same scene from Scream
Yep.
and then appeared on the same exact season of Celebrity Big Brother.
See, that's crazier than what you said.
That is wild. Wait, so Winokur won that season, right?
She won. She beat Ross Matthews.
Ross Matthews. Yeah, I couldn't remember which of them won.
Yeah.
Was Tom Green on that season as well?
No, I think that's the second or third one.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because he lost the award, the MTV Movie Award for Best Cameo. He was nominated against James Vanderbeek for his cameo in
Oh.
Charlie's Angels.
Wow. Well, now you just ruined Charlie's Angels for me.
It's like the first 5 minutes of the movie. Fuck off. He was dating Drew Barrymore at the time. Or they were married, maybe. All right.
You know, he's got one testicle.
Yep, I watched the Tom Green cancer special on MTV probably 4 times.
Cancer special is pretty funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Okay, so she's very fat, so she can't make it through that little doggy door.
You know something
in
else
the
funny
garage.
about this?
Go ahead.
Remember in the first one, it's like the big joke. You can see her nipples.
Yeah.
And then here, like they make a point to have her wear a see-through top, but have it very obvious that she's wearing like a bra. So I feel like that's a joke that they're making too.
You do? I never thought about it.
Yeah, I think that they make a point of that.
Okay. Man,
I think she's also actually wearing a bra in Scream. She just has such hard nipples that they're showing
oh my
through the
god, yeah, those are probably the most iconic nipples in any film.
bra. I would say top of the list.
Yeah. So they do a parody of the American Pie sex scene, which I didn't really get because that's already a comedy.
What? When's that?
You know, they're fucking in the bath. So they go to fuck, right? The Billy Loomis character.
I thought this was just a parody of Scream when they have sex.
Well, it is at first, right? And they kiss and their tongues get tied together, which is also bad CGI. And
I thought it was sort of well acted because they know that, hey, at a certain point, you guys are going to keep kissing and then we're going to put in the CGI and then you guys are going to like go back on the bed. I think they do it sort of play it well.
I can't criticize anything about this movie. It's perfect to you.
You didn't even criticize it. I was just bringing up a point. I thought they did a good job. Even though the CGI looked bad, I thought the actors did well. I think every actor is pretty good in this movie.
So she takes her underwear off first. Like, what happens?
Bats
Like,
fly out of it.
bats fly out of it. Right.
And then
That's
she's got a big old bush.
yeah, and he has to shave it with a chainsaw.
That looks terrible.
It looks fine.
No, him shaving it and the bush disappearing looks really stupid.
Really? I never really thought about it before.
Well, when you watch it next time,
It'll never happen again.
No.
Tell
This
me.
is really a spoof month on you. You're not gonna have fun.
I'm having fun.
Okay, good.
Are you kidding me? This is an hour and 28 minutes. Flew right by. That's all I had to do for this week instead
I'm
of
sure they're
watching
only gonna get
3
shorter.
Planet of the Apes movies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, but when she gets on top of him and she's like, "Say my name, bitch," and all that shit, that's from American Pie.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's the Allison Hannigan character from American Pie.
You're spoiling fucking American Pie for me.
You've never seen American Pie?
I saw it when I was younger.
How old are you?
Was I when I saw it?
Yeah.
Probably it's like 12. Probably
Yeah,
the right age.
I saw that in theaters at 13 and this in theaters at 13. Like, it was great time for me, Logan.
Yeah.
Like, everything was coming out. There's Something About Mary was a big hit around this time. Road Trip came out. I was so into all those movies.
Yeah, you had a great childhood.
I did. I'd like to thank the late 90s and early 2000s for being so disgusting for my enjoyment. All right, so we're in the party. They do a Sixth Sense gag with Marlon Wayans.
Yeah, he sees dead people.
Yeah. I mean, all right. And then, all right, tell me what else happens in the sequence.
I don't know. With the I see dead people sequence.
No, just the whole party. You get the Ghostface freestyle raps, and he kills everybody with his movements.
But not Shorty somehow.
Yeah,
Everyone in the room's dead, but not him.
I guess. And then it gets to the end, and it's like Sean Wayans. I think this is Sean Wayans' shining moment, is when he's doing his Matthew Lillard impression.
Yeah, but did you notice that Bobby has one of Stu's lines at one point?
Yes, I did fucking notice that. It drove me insane.
He does a good job, though. I thought he delivered it very well.
I'm feeling a little woozy here.
No, I thought so too. But Sean doing his whole like, "It's a Scream, baby," and just like fucking drooling everywhere, I thought was so funny.
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer. I'll be back.
Yeah, that was great. And this is when you get the Wayans Brothers reference, which I appreciated. I probably clapped when I saw it in theaters. But then they ruin all the goodwill with all that Matrix bullshit.
Yeah, that's one of my least favorite parts.
That
of the
shit
movie.
doesn't hold up at all. It's just we were obsessed with the fucking Matrix.
And she
around
does like
this
the
time.
dance. That's really stupid. Also,
She does. Yeah, it's a river dance joke.
That might be Is that a movie?
No, that was a thing in the 90s.
I thought it was like an Irish jig or something.
It is an Irish jig,
Oh.
but there was that was popular in the 90s for a while, Irish jigs, and you would go see the stage show. It was like Cirque du Soleil, but with Irish jigs. It was called Riverdance. There were
Wow.
commercials for it constantly, so everyone ripped on it, and that's what this is a reference to.
Okay, well, I didn't realize
Yeah.
that, but I didn't like it very much. It's one of my least favorite parts.
I
of this
mean,
movie.
they do the initial Matrix joke where it's like she's like goes in the air like Trinity in that
Yeah,
opening.
they dodge bullets and stuff.
No, but after that, I was like, okay, at least it's just that. But then they do so much more. They do the bullet time joke. And
The bullet thing's okay, but then they like it gets too much. It's like
come on,
too
when his
long.
back hurts, he can't get up from bullet time. That's
That's
stupid.
funny.
That's funny.
Nah, just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't like any of the Matrix stuff. You can cut that. But do you not like that the whole movie you think he's gay, but that he's like, what? I'm not gay. You're gay.
It's just a throwaway line. He is gay.
Yeah, but I always thought that was funny.
It's all right.
Jeez.
All right. And then it comes to the end, and it's a parody of The Usual Suspects, which is not a horror film, but I still thought it was pretty cute. Where
They had others that weren't horror films.
yeah, fucking Riverdance
Matrix, yeah.
and what was the other
Budweiser
one?
commercial.
Right, Budweiser commercial.
Dawson's Creek.
Yeah. All right. So, but it's the end of Usual Suspects when they realize that like the weirdo is the mastermind the whole time, and she drops her cup, and it breaks. You seen The Usual Suspects?
Yeah, a long time ago.
All right. So yeah. And then he walks out. He's limping exactly like fucking Kevin Spacey in that movie. And that's the end of the movie. It's Doofy. Doofy was the killer the whole time.
I do like the twist on it, how they are just doing a copycat, and Doofy has actually been the killer the whole time. I do think that's a fun way to have a little twist on it.
Okay.
You don't think so?
I don't think they really put much thought into anything. Like it's just they had a Usual Suspects joke and they had that joke and they put them in order, and to make it make sense, they said it's a copycat.
How's that not thought? You literally just explained the thought process they probably had. Sounds like a lot of thought to me.
All right.
You didn't mention that he leaves with Gail Hailstorm. He didn't kill her in the woods.
Oh yeah, that's right. They get into a car together and drive off.
Yeah, so he did not kill her. He liked her, remember?
Yeah, I do remember. They fucked in that van.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So
Like when she tastes his finger and she gives a little face, like, oh, that's gross.
because it tastes like butt.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you going to give it?
We're ready to award.
What
this
else is
film
there?
Stars.
What else?
I don't know.
Anything else?
Just the Scream 3 parody, but we already mentioned that.
I might have had some other stuff.
Yeah. What else is in your notes?
I didn't like that cop that's like showing her like, hey, look at these photos, and it's just like him in like weird photos.
Oh, I kind of did like that.
What? That's one of the parts you like? That's so stupid.
I also think that actor is really good. Kurt Fuller. He's really funny. Like you know him from stuff, right?
Yeah, he's DJ Fuller's uncle.
What? Oh my god, is that a fucking Fuller House reference?
Of course it is.
You piece of shit. No, he's one of the antagonists in Ghostbusters 2. And
Never saw it.
he's in the run. You've never seen Ghostbusters 2?
I don't even care for Ghostbusters 1.
Oh my god.
It's whatever.
It's whatever. He's also in The Running Man. He's on that show Evil now, which I think is a really good show. He played a judge on The Good Wife. Wait, but what are his big roles? Those are just my personal faves. But he's been around forever, like fucking Kurt Fuller. He's good bald actor. He's always looked exactly the same. He's in Wayne's World.
Okay.
Whatever.
Well, here he's in Wayans World. The
God
one
damn
part,
it.
there's one where the big chase. Oh, do you like the part where he calls her and he's hiding like behind the couch, and then he hides under the carpet and behind the curtain?
It lost me after the initial one, but I did like when his feet are sticking out from behind the couch and he looks excited.
Yeah, he's like kicking his little feet.
Yeah.
What about the camera zooms in? She's like giving a scream, and the camera zooms in and it hits her, and she's like, "Ow!"
It's fine.
You don't like that part? Okay.
I just feel like I've seen that before.
Yeah, probably here. It's probably invented it, and then
Shut
others
the
were
fuck
like,
up.
"That was good. Let's put that in our movie." But the chase, by the way, that they do here, like you might just think, "Oh, it's like the chase from Scream 1, where the big-breasted girl runs up the stairs when you
Right.
might think it's just like that. But then when she runs up the stairs, she starts pushing like a piano and a bike.
She throws her grandmother.
and her grandma. But all that's all Scream 2 stuff. That's like from the Cece scene,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
But you know what?
So
That's
it's more
that's
Scream
in all
2.
the Scream movies. I feel like Scream is constantly like somebody running away from somebody and throwing random shit at them. Because in Scream 1, when she's like running to the attic, when she jumps out that window and like falls on the boat, she does some of that shit. Like she throws a bicycle in his path at one point.
Yeah, you're right. But that was specifically Scream 2.
Yeah,
so.
okay.
But I wanted to raise that up because we love Cece, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Great character, Buffy. And I remember thinking that the second movie was going to be a straight parody of Scream 2, like this was a Scream 1 one.
I
And
don't remember what that is. It's like Poltergeist?
no, it's The Haunting, which was like not a popular movie at all. I was actually thinking about rewatching it this weekend before watching Scary Movie 2. But
Maybe I'll do that.
yeah, it's a Jan de Bont film with Lily.
Is that the Todd Field? Is he in that one?
Yes, he's an actor in it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Liam Neeson, Catherine Zeta-Jones,
Ooh.
and Lily Taylor, and Owen Wilson.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. It's not very good, but I remember seeing it in theaters the same weekend of Woodstock 99. So, okay. Are you done with your notes?
Shorty gets shot, smokes the gunshot wound. Yeah.
I kind of liked that. Yeah,
that's pretty good. Get a hit of this. Gets it. That's great.
That would have been a good joke. And Don't Be a Menace. It's funny. Like Shawn Wayans wasn't involved in that movie, but Marlon Wayans had already made a parody movie before this. Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Did we bring up the part where they're like, we're in a movie? Of course we're in a movie. There's the director and there's like the sound guy.
The script supervisor.
Do you like that part? Because I don't really like that.
Oh, because you take these movies too seriously. You're like, I don't want them breaking the fourth wall. I'm involved.
You're
I want to know
exactly
who the killer is. I don't give a shit. So I thought it was kind of funny.
Okay, that's one of
I thought it always bothers me in movies when a character says like we're not in a movie, this is real life, and I'm like, it's not. I'm watching a movie right now.
Yeah. We started talking about the fart at the very beginning from what's her name?
Fartman Electra.
Yeah, way to go. But there's two other farts in this where Sherry O'Terry tickles Doofy and he farts. And so that's a great joke. And then another one where Cindy's in the bathtub and she farts a whole bunch. You see a lot of bubbles.
Yeah. Yeah. And Anna Faris is like, ooh.
Ooh. And she's like, she shaves her tongue? That was always stupid to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if she's shaving everything, why doesn't she start with that bush?
It's a great point. Where do you even begin when it gets that long, though?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Should have asked that girl at the pageant for some advice.
Some girls go full blown, man.
It.
I remember when I was in college and I reached into a girl's pants and I was shocked by the amount of bush I felt.
That's never happened to me before. No, never.
Man, you need to hook up with weirder girls.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. What do we got, Logan? What do you give this?
It's just like I can't lie. It's just like it's one of my favorite movies, but made funny, and I do find it funny throughout, like the whole time. And I think there's a section. There's like the part where they're like they do the football jersey part into What Are You Waiting For? Into Lover's Lookout, into the movie theater. That's just a great 20 minutes of movie right there.
I think only 2 of those 4 bits are good.
What are you talking about?
I don't think
the football part's not funny.
No, and neither's the Lover's Lookout part.
Yes, it is. She's asking Ghostface for an interview. That's very funny.
Okay.
It's ripping on how nosy Gale Weathers is.
And then the Blair Witch thing comes out of that, which is not funny.
Yeah, I sort of agree with that part, but what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna give this movie a 2. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm really? You didn't enjoy this?
I enjoyed it, but it's not good.
What's the difference between this and Airplane?
Airplane was breaking new ground. It was parodizing something that had never been parodied before in an interesting way.
Nobody had parodied Scream yet.
But people had Scream parodied horror movies.
So,
All right, whatever.
all right. Well,
I
I think
no
this is
fucking Airplane. Get it.
this is like a joke.
This is just like you when before we even started recording today. We were talking about movies, and you were like, "Man, when you start to watch old movies, you realize that every movie is just a ripoff of old movies." And you brought up how The Last Duel is just Rashomon, and I said the Joker is just the king of comedy. And what was the other one we said?
I don't remember.
I don't know, but we were having this whole conversation, and like that's all this is. It's like you think Scary Movie is great, like if you see Scary Movie first, but like if you've already seen Airplane and The Naked Gun and Hot Shots, like Scary Movie is no great shakes. I mean,
We'll
even
find out when I
to
watch
me,
Hot
even
Shots.
even Don't Be a Menace, but with some of the Wayans is better than this.
Why didn't I know that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they have more of a take on hood movies, understandably, than they do on slashers.
All right. Well, this is just one of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm gonna give it 5 stars.
Of course you are.
I love it so much.
All right, that's okay. Listen, come on.
It's less than an hour and a half. It's like
I
it's
gave
really
Crank
like
2 High Voltage a 5 stars, so I can't really give you shit.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Who's your MVP? Regina Hall?
Yeah, I think you got to go Regina Hall, but I want to shout out Ghostface.
I'm gonna give Anna Faris. I think Anna Faris is great.
She is great. Yeah, she's really great. Shout out her. Shout out Ghostface. Shout out Sherry O'Terry. Shout
Lachlan
out.
Monroe.
Nah, no, not.
I
he
love
dies too
Lachlan
early.
Monroe.
Me too, but he dies too early. He's like the first one to die.
I
And shout
guess.
out Sean Wayans. I think he's very funny.
Both the Wayans are funny in this. I think the Wayans brothers, like those two, Sean and Marlon, are both really fucking funny and don't get enough credit for it because
Who was the one that was in?
they made so many bad, terrible fucking movies.
Was that show called Married with Children?
What about it?
Was the Wayans in that show?
No,
What am I thinking of?
I don't know what you're thinking of.
My Wife and Kids?
Yeah, that's a Damon Wayans joint.
Damon Wayans. I think he
Yeah.
was the first Wayans I ever knew.
He was the first Wayans most people knew, I feel like.
Oh,
Because
really?
Keenan was a lot behind the scenes and shit. Damon Wayans was like briefly on Saturday Night Live, and then he got fired for like being weird in a sketch. And then he was on In Living Color, and he made a lot of movies in the 90s, like Blank Man and shit like that. And yeah, I think he reached the highest level of fame that any Wayans did. But, you know, but shout out to Sean and Marlon. They were always kind of my faves.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right. LVP?
LVP. I'm gonna go Miss Man.
That's very fair.
Yeah, it's the thing that I didn't like the most.
Yeah. Miss Man, huh?
Funny name though.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So I was going to go Sherry O'Terry.
That's so stupid.
That's stupid.
That is really stupid. She's
I
locked
mean-
in.
She's locked in. I mean, I'll accept Miss Man. Like, obviously, that's a good choice for LVP.
Runner up that cop that was like, check out these photos of me posing.
No, it's Kurt Fuller though. He's funny in like the rest of the movie,
Yeah,
and I think he's kind of funny there. No, I'll stick with Sherry O'Terry.
I don't like that at all.
I know you don't like that. She was an MVP nominee for you.
Well, I wrote down like 6 people to be fair.
It's just like that's the hackiest thing in the movie is like Sherry O'Terry as Gail Hailstorm. Come on.
No.
I
like
also
it.
liked that the name of her book is You're Dead, I'm Rich.
Yeah, that's funny too.
Yeah, that's good.
What a great character.
Okay.
Put her in Scream 7.
It couldn't be any worse. All right. Is that it? Did we do it?
I don't want to end it. This was
Oh, I
I
know.
want to stop talking
had
about
such
scary
a,
movie.
Yeah, well, we won't have to because for the next 2 weeks we'll be talking about other scary movies.
By the way,
Yeah.
Brenda, Regina Hall, she dies, or so we think. But she is in, as far as I know, at least 3 more Scary Movie movies.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they work that out.
Okay.
How many have you seen?
I've only seen the first 2 because after the second one, the Wayans stopped doing them. And I was like, I'm not interested in non-Wayans scary movies.
Didn't even give it a chance.
Yeah, I didn't give it a chance.
They get Charlie Sheen. They get
and Leslie
the
Nielsen.
Red
Yeah,
Rocket
there
guy.
are good people in it. Red Rocket guy. Yeah, Simon Rex, he's around. And, you know, it's directed, actually, those other ones by David Zucker, who's one of the 3 guys that made fucking Airplane.
Right, but then he did Rat Race, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one. All right. I guess that's it.
All right, next week, Scary Movie 2.
Oh,
And-
one more thing.
Go ahead.
The dad. They bring the dad out of the closet, and he has a ball gag because they're gay, right?
Right.
But the dad, he's handcuffed in front of him. He can take the ball gag out himself. It didn't make any sense.
But he
to me.
likes the ball gag because he's gay, too.
Yeah, it made me think. I think they did that on purpose, and
Yeah,
I like that they did that. So great touch there. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you
so
like
there's
the
that.
part where he's like, he puts his hands up even though he's innocent?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, when he's like, they plant the drugs all over the house.
Right.
Oh man, the dad is so funny. I think
Man,
one of my favorite.
go back and watch The
characters ever.
Burbs, dude.
Yeah, maybe I will.
All right. Anyway, it was a good time. Next week, Scary Movie 2 and Scary Movie 3. We'll see the crossover from the Wayanses to Zucker, and I hope you enjoy Spoof Month. And listen, don't feel bad. The 400 blows. I'm sure that was a good experience for you. That's not a chore
we'll
to
do
watch.
it within the next year and a half or whatever.
Yeah. We're gonna cover the Doi.
And if you're a patron, we will talk about it on Hey I'm Watching Here because I did watch it the other day.
That's true. Yeah. So listen to Hey, I'm Watching Here. If you are a patron, patreon.com/the franchise. We're doing fun shit over there. This week on the Buffy show, we're covering Phases and Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered.
Already watched Phases. What
Holy
an
shit.
episode, guys.
Yeah, wild shit.
It's about a werewolf. Spoiler alert. And you'll never guess who it is.
Yeah, it reveals that is a werewolf. And then Hey, I'm Watching Here. We got a lot of shit. I'll be talking about season 3 of the Wu-Tang show on Hulu. I'll be talking about that Tetris movie from Apple Plus.
Party Down. We both watched Party Down.
Yeah, Party Down season 3. Exciting stuff. All right.
I watched Rocky 3. You guys covered that, but I wasn't around
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. All right.
And can we say something? A special guest?
That's true. Yeah, special guest this week. Our old friend Shut Up Tim, who hasn't been on the Patreon in a while.
Yeah, they're going to talk. I haven't watched it, but they're going to talk about WrestleMania. Maybe I'll watch it.
Right. Yeah, we're going to discuss WrestleMania 39. WrestleMania Goes Hollywood.